What's good, fam? Thanks for joining me again for another Goat Format video. So today I have a top 16 match between myself and I love Cecci Coochi, which is I think how you say their name. So this was my first ever Yu-Gi-Oh online Goat tournament. So I came in top 16. Round 1 I get paired off against Dale Bolito, who's, as we all know, he's an amazing player, two-time Shonen Jump champion, along with his brother Lazaro Bolito, who actually came in second place at the LCQs. Obviously members of Team Overdose and just all around amazing Yu-Gi-Oh players. So I had the luxury of playing him round 1. That was no easy task. I did beat him, so congratulations to me, and big thanks to Dale Bolito also. But anyways, round 2 I get paired off against I love Cecci Coochi, who's obviously, if you're following Goat Format heavily, you know this guy is an amazing player. He's always this person's always in the leaderboards of the ranked in Goat Format on Dueling Book, and always topping these events like left and right. So I actually had the luxury of playing I love Cecci Coochi. And enough of this, let's just hop right into this match and see how this went down. So I get the rock paper scissors. I'm also going to be posting in the community tab my deck list so you guys can check it out. But anyways, this is practically what I'm playing. It is Chaos Turbo with Mask of Darkness. So my opening hand is Ring of Destruction, Heavy Storm, Solemn Judgment, Mask of Darkness, and Thunder Dragon. 6th card is Jar of Greed. So I try to go, I see this hand and I try to go for a blowout in some way. So I'm just going to activate Thunder Dragon and set my whole hand, including the Heavy Storm, for the reason that I want to get Heavy Storm out as soon as possible. I'm not playing anything janky like Messenger of Peace or Gravity Bind or anything like that, but my deck is Chaos Turbo, but I do have an aspect of a Mask of Darkness lock. I don't try to go for Time Seal or anything like that, but when you combo it with Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, it does the same effect as the Time Seal lock, and you're not playing anything extra. You're just playing your regular, your regular engine cards. So this is the play I decided to go for. I love Cecci Coochi's opens up double Night Assailant Sangan, Mystical Space Typhoon, and Regeki Break, which is a good hand by itself also. His next card is a Mirror Force. So let's see what he does here. He's gonna go ahead and summon Sangan, and I think about this for a second because I could just let him swing in with the Sangan. I'll activate Jar of Greed to him attacking, and then I'll get my Jar of Greed back. But I thought to myself, I'm pretty sure if he had a Heavy Storm, he would have activated it. Even if it would have just gotten my Solemn Judgment out, it's worth the 4 grand. So so when he summoned the Sangan, I told myself maybe he doesn't have a Heavy Storm. So I decided to Solemn Judgment the Sangan for a few reasons. So face down, I have a Jar of Greed and I have Ring of Destruction. So I'm gonna activate this jar, and if he sets 2 to 3 cards, then I'll be able to try to literally blow him out in one shot, because he won't get the Sangan search. I'll blow out 3 of his cards, I'll have a draw plus my Jar of Greed draw, and I'll get a card back with this Mask of Darkness. So I wind up Solemn Judgmenting. He sets 3 cards, passes over, I draw a Tsukiyomi, which is even better for my play. So I activate Jar of Greed. Now this was a small misplay I made. I decided to activate my Heavy Storm before doing anything else, and that was only because I didn't want my Mask of Darkness to get Solemn Judgmented. But as you'll see, he's going to activate Regeki Break after I activate the Heavy Storm, and that's going to kill my Mask of Darkness. So I play it, he Regeki Breaks, and I just pass over right here. He draws into BLS. I don't think he has a light in his graveyard. If he did, that would have actually been great for me, because I could have I could have snatched, stole it, and then dropped Tsukiyomi. But anyways, I think he just passes here without setting the Night Assailant, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so he does set the Night Assailant. I draw into Serpent. I set my Serpent and pass. He draws into Suki. He goes for a Night Assailant and then swings in with Tsukiyomi. I draw for a turn, get back my Sinister Serpent, and at this point, I could have let him continue to do this, but my life points are really, really low, and I need to try to build some pressure. So what I wind up doing is, you guys will see here, I drop the Sinister Serpent, Night Assailant eats it up, and mind you, I have a Tsukiyomi of my own. So I wind up snatch stealing here and passing because I figured that the card that he drew is pretty dead, and he has a Tsukiyomi, which is his second card. So he's not going to just summon Suki and swing into my monster. Swing into the Night Assailant because that's just going to kill the Night Assailant. So he has to draw into something like a Cecci or I mean a Sangan's gone. He has to draw into something to run into the Night Assailant. And that's if he doesn't want to set the monster. He doesn't know I have Tsukiyomi. So let's just see what he does here. He draws into Torrential Tribute. He sets it and passes. I draw into Duo. I get back my Sinister Serpent, and then I Duo. So I actually should have saved this for main phase 2. And you'll see why. I drop Tsukiyomi and he decides to Torrential here. Maybe he wouldn't have Torrentialed if I didn't Duo him. Who knows? But anyways, I pass over to him. He draws it to Duo. He just sets it and says go. I draw into Jar of Greed. So now I set Night Assailant with Jar and pass. He draws into Messenger of Peace, which is what I mean by anything janky. So I found out later that he's playing some similar build to what I'm playing. But he's playing Messenger of Peace in his build. I don't know how many he's playing. But he activates Delinquent Duo. Presumably because he believes that I set my Sinister Serpent again. Gets rid of Thunder Dragon, I chuck Sinister. He sets his Messenger and passes over. I draw Solemn. I pick up my Serpent. So I set the Serpent again now with the Sinister Serpent because I want to be able to tribute for this Thunder Dragon, and I don't want to tribute this Night Assailant. The reason I don't activate Jar of Greed is because if he has an end phase, I don't want him to hit the Solemn Judgment. But anyway, I pass over. He sets his Graceful. Passes, I draw into Wing Blast. So at this point, I just man up with Thunder Dragon. And I set my third card and pass over. He draws Regeki Break. Plays Messenger, which I let go through. And just passes. I draw into Nobleman. I get my Sinister Serpent back. And then I activate Jar of Greed, which just gives me a second Wing Blast. So mind you guys, I'm still in standby phase. I think at this point I activate Wing Blast to target the Messenger. So now I'm trying to make sure that he stays within the same turn while I'm drawing my cards. It's basically a soft lock. I pick up my Serpent again. I swing in for 1600. Set Wing Blast. And the knock and pass over. He draws into Messenger one more time. I think at this point he activates the Graceful. And I just Solemn that because I don't want him to leave the turn that he's in. And then he plays the Messenger one more time. Passes over. I draw into the Cecci. So I could. Well, let's see what I do. I know I Wing Blast and then spin back the Messenger of Peace. And that was another misplay I did. So I wasn't paying attention to the cards that I heavy stormed because I was just so excited that I was up on tempo. I could have easily just kept the Thunder Dragon in attack mode and started swinging in. But I do wind up just Swing Blasting this Messenger of Peace up. And just passing over. I think what was going on was I wasn't sure if I wanted to Messenger of Peace. I mean, if I wanted to Wing Blast. But then I figured he's in top deck mode anyway. He's literally in the same turn. I should just Wing Blast this. That Thunder Dragon should have just been in attack mode this whole time. Plays the Messenger of Peace. Passes over. I draw into Jar of Greed. Get back Serpent. Swing for 14. Set Jar of Greed one more time. He draws into another Messenger. Pays 100. Passes over. I draw Solemn. Jar of Greed. Gets me an upstart, so I don't activate this. I just swing for 14. Hirageki breaks my Cecci. Now I set Solemn Judgment, pass over. He draws Book of Moon. Sets it and passes. I draw Tsukiyomi, so now I'm on the offense one more time. Swing in for 700. Leave him at 700 rather. He draws into Pot. I Solemn the Pot because I don't want him to leave the turn one more time. I draw into my own Pot of Greed. I activate it. Grab Night Assailant. Grab BLS. And now I just do the same play. He swings in. That gets Book of Moon. Okay, so this was a little thing. Like a small little... So I don't play many tournaments. And I nowadays I rarely play on Rated 2. I just played the pot of greed and drew 2 without letting him respond, and I shuffled my hand, which was a no-no. So he's just telling me about it. He Book of Moons, draws into Mask of Darkness, and this is game because I have Nox set, and I also have an Night Assailant set. So game 2. Alright, so game 2, he opens Desert Sunlight, Regeki Break, Sakuretsu Armor, Mask of Darkness, and Snatch Steel. I get Pot of Greed, Mirror Force, Thunder Dragon, Heavy Storm, and Sangan. His 6th card is Night Assailant. So he just sets Regeki Break and passes over. I draw into Jar, Thunder Dragon. Play Pot of Greed, draw into Chaos Sork and knock. Yeah, and now I just drop Sangan, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, no. Okay, so I'm gonna set both Mirror Force and Jar. Pass over, he draws into another Desert Sunlight. So he decides to go for my Mirror Force, which I'm fine with because that's 2 for 1. Sets Mask, and then sets another Sunlight with a Sakuretsu Armor. Passes over, I draw Tri-Virus. Obviously I Jar, and then I play Heavy Storm right away. He Desert Sunlights. Picks up his Regeki Break. I Graceful Charity. Get myself a Wing Blast, Upstart Goblin, and a Gravekeeper Spy. So I'm gonna admit it, I drew like God this game. I kind of feel bad for Cecci Coochi because he wasn't tight that I won, but he let me know that I drew really, really good. But besides that, now that I'm looking back at the match, his hands weren't that great anyways. So, I mean, yeah, I drew good, but he also drew bad. Get rid of the Night Assailants. I get rid of the Thunder Dragons. Play Upstart, grab BLS. So I just swing, and I think I set Spy, yep, with the Phoenix Wing Blast. Okay, so I don't set the Wing Blast. He top decks into a Thunder Dragon. Sets the Regeki Break with the Night Assailant, passes over. I draw Serpent. He Regeki Breaks immediately, getting rid of my Spy. And now I knock his face down. And so he has a Thunder Dragon in his hand, and I know that. So I decide to man up with this Chaos Orc and set the Wing Blast, if I'm not mistaken. Because I'm gonna be able to try I'll be able to try Virus if anything happens. If any of these 2 die, and I also have the BLS, and he's in Wing Blast, top deck mode. So anyways, I set the Wing Blast, pass over, he draws into another Desert Sunlight. So he's trying to really go hard with this Mask of Darkness. I don't think that's really worth it. Plays the Snatch, banishes my Sangan, and then end phase, I Wing Blast the Desert Sunlight. And this isn't game. This leaves him at 100. But I figured even if that's a Mirror Force, I can put something in defense mode. And he just scoops up. He tells me that today was my day, which hopefully it could have been my day, but it wasn't because I immediately lost the next round to Geist. So I will be featuring that match also. Shout out to Geist. Good game, man, honestly. But yeah, he says that he has to tell the public that today is my day. And you know what, man, I wish it was. But what this did do for me was I'm gonna be playing more tournaments now. I had a lot of fun. It was cool. It was good. It felt good to be competitive again. I haven't been competitive in Yu-Gi-Oh in a very, very long time. Obviously, as you guys know, I still keep up with GoatFormat. I still talk to a lot of good players about GoatFormat. So I'm still there, when it comes to trying to make the best plays I can. There are things that I'm gonna need to brush up on, and you'll see that on the Geist match that I post soon. But anyways, this was really fun, and yeah, I'll be competing in the World Championships next year. I'm calling that right now. But good luck to everybody in the World Championship. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I'm really close to a lot of people on Team Overdose, but my choice for winning the World Championship this year is Moxie's. So good luck to you, Moxie's. I'm rooting for you, bro. I think you got this. He's won 2 tournaments back to back. One of them beating Anthony Alvarado in the finals, and the second one I'm not too sure who he beat in the finals. But to celebrate Moxie's, I will be posting commentaries on both of those matches this week, so you guys watch out for that. And anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I love all of you guys. Try to help support this channel by going down and clicking on my TCG player link if you're gonna buy any kind of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'll just get a cut from whatever you buy. It's not gonna charge you anymore. Or you can check out my merch store and get yourself some GrindingGoatFormat merch. And I'll see you guys in the next one, alright? Peace.